right, so today we're interviewing Valerie Gagne. Val, what school do you work for?
I work at La Salle Elementary Junior.
Is it a public or a private school?
It's a public school.
What type of children do you would receive your services in the school?
I would say mostly all children's, depending on their needs, but at CPIC or I work with kids with ASD. We have kids with Down syndrome. I work also with behaviors, ADHD, sometimes with kids with anxiety. So it really depends on the needs of the kids, but I would say all kids.
And who allocates how much time each child receives, either per day or per week?
From what I understood, it's the resource groups, the resource people that makes the schedule, depending on which kid was assessed and what services do they need. So it's the beginning of the school year. We just make the schedule, and it's like I said, depending on the needs. We make little groups of 30 minutes.
And what are some of the other needs that some of the children that you work with? Like it said,
we have
ASD, Down syndrome, but sometimes we work with children of trauma. That
Yeah,
would still
there's
be
trauma
considered-
kids, but there's also kids that needs fine motor stuff, motor skills. So let's say I have little kids that can't, like a little one in the superstar class, it's motor skills, fine motor. Yeah, social skills, emotional. I work with academic stuff too. Some kids needs to learn how to trace.
Yeah. What are the types of interventions that you create or implement throughout the day?
Interventions, interventions that will help the child and interventions that meets them at their level. So like I said again, it's all depending. We could do crisis intervention when there's two kids coming in from recess, and then we need to do conflict resolution. And yeah, interventions, direct interventions or planned interventions. Like
And when you plan them, do you have to plan them with somebody else, or can you just plan them on your own?
I plan them on my own.
So you don't have to meet with the team after to like have it approved, or
If it's on the spot, like an intervention, okay, this kid needs, like he comes in my group and I work on social skills, or this things can be decided with me. But if it's something that, okay, a situation happened and then something needs to be put in place, like
something bigger,
something
big.
bigger, it's discussed in the resource team, and then we decide what's the best things to do to make the intervention.
Okay, and what are some of the biggest challenges you face when trying to implement your plan?
I wrote the biggest challenge is that most of the time it does not go according to the plan. So the kids could come in a mood or with other needs and you have to change the plans. That says like if you had planned to work something with a kid or a group, and then that kid that day is emotionally sad or something happened, well, then I'll change the plan and I'll work on the emotional part.
And so when you're making these plans, you never have to like ask the parents. There's never like there's never a pushback from.
No.
It's just the child and maybe the mood that they're in that day.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to get these type of plans approved by anybody. It's just let's try this strategy.
Let's-
See how it goes.
You always
and
need to
then-
have a plan A, a plan B, a plan C in case plan A doesn't
Yeah.
go according to plan A.
and adjust
Adjust with the mood.
while you're doing it and the mood.
And the kids and the needs, how they come in that morning.
We talked about it a bit, but I put what are some of the tools you use when intervening with your clients? Your clients being the children.
The tools, I would say my most principal tool is the relationship that I create with the kid. Like it helps a lot. Like, you know, I go outside at recess, I help certain kids. How are you doing today? I just build a relationship.
So building the relationship is the tool that you use.
It's the tool, the relationship I have, because then when the kid is upset and you have to go in a crisis intervention, it helps when the kids see your face and He's got the relationship in mind and the comfort and the help that you gave.
Yeah, that makes sense. Um, what other professionals do you collaborate with in the school?
The teachers, the principal, the integration aides, the social workers, speech therapists, psychologists, and specialists like FSSST, which is
Floriana?
Floriana. It's a family social service
And
technician.
then Sharon is
Sharon is the head of FSSST,
okay,
and there's also the ASD consultant,
which
which is Jade,
Jade.
that will come with specific things about autism and specific behaviors. Those are also the tools that I use the most.
Is those people?
Those people,
Yeah. So
I
if
go.
you need help in a situation,
Yeah, I would go to the integration aid too. That are an awesome tools because they're the one with the kids all day. So it happens that sometimes to make an intervention, I go consult with them. And I think the parents, but there's not really specialists, but you're always working on collaboration with the parents.
and when you're working with them, what are some of the challenges that you face? Like if I'm not on board with maybe the plan that you have, like do we come to a compromise?
With the
Or
parents or specialists?
specialists, like if we work together as specialists and we don't agree on something,
We
maybe that-
discuss among the resource team the best ways. So there's always other people to bring also their views and opinion, but most of the time it works. We go for the what's best for the child.
yeah.
So
And I guess you can try one way.
one,
and if it
it's
doesn't
you'll
work,
see it's
it's
a
the plan B.
try and absolutely. There's no plan like the tools or there's nothing. They'll teach you like the tool that I use the most, whatever I learned during my classes at college. But you'll see when you're on the ground that you use whatever works with the child.
And what works with one
Will not.
will not work with the next.
And what works with one day might not work the other day because, like I said, he comes in a mood. Something happened at home, so he's not in the learning state now. So you have to like bring him back and see emotionally what's triggering him.
And we talked about what tools you use most daily.
Tools, I would say my sensory bins. I have a lot of bins made with sand, beans, and I use also the tent. I have an ASD specialized tent,
Calming tent.
a calming tent that helps kids to regulate their emotions. I also use ChatGPT a lot lately because they're the best to create social story. And I love it because you can put the kids' pictures and the kids make the social story to the image of the kids without using real pictures and respect confidentiality.
Yeah, so respecting confidentiality has to be a little bit hard when working in this field, especially like if you're, I don't know, talking to another person, not using a child's name. Sometimes
Yeah, yeah.
becomes a little bit difficult.
It's to distant what you can say and what you can't say, like as a professional in resource, let's say, and information that when you talk with someone, you would just, talk, but it's nothing bad, but it's the line is yeah,
There.
it's there.
And if you want to say if you want to use an example, it would have to be changed. Like his name would have to be
Change,
changed.
yes,
or her
yes,
name
yes.
would have to be
Change the
changed.
name and everything that make you recognize the kid,
And
family, or yes, because it's a small community. Everybody knows somebody, so it's easy. That was a challenge.
yeah.
Trace the line between parents and what you can say in a conversation, and yeah.
And do you feel like in this community, I know I value you, but do you feel like you feel valued in this job? Like this is why you do it?
Yes, I love helping. You have to be in a helping relationship, like relation d'aide. I don't know how you say that in English, but help others.
Yeah.
Always find ways to help others, be a resource. Like it's helping the kids, but also the adult that works with the kids, the teachers,
So
giving
it's
them.
always having constant communication between everybody in the child's life at school.
Absolutely. And that brings me to what are some challenges you face when collaborating? I would say the different approach that people have. sometimes you do one thing one way and some people do things different way. So that could be a bit of conflict, the difference of opinions,
Yeah.
different background too. When you, it helps, not it helps, but it makes a difference sometimes when you grow up in a, you know, you understand your community and the different values of people. That
Perfect.
can be also conflict. So it's to manage, to help the kids and to work with the people at the same time.
Perfect.